Hey guys, just want to take a moment to give you a live demonstration of the back end of this software so you can better understand exactly what it can do for you. Now the first thing you'll see once you log in, and this is a brand new setup, but the first thing you'll see is just the general data about your tracking, and you can see the number of sessions and the amount of time people have spent on the site, so you can see trends over time. In the next section here, we can see actual user sessions. So everyone that's come to our website, we can see what page they land on, what path they followed. In this example, they went to the home page and then to the contact page. Here they went from careers to the fine print page to the home page, back to services, and back to this person's page. We can also see what kind of computer they were on and what type of browser they were on. But let's give you an example here of exactly what it looks like to see how a user interacts with your website. What pops up is exactly the size screen that the user sees. You can see here it's 1024 by 653. We can see all of the pages and the path they went on here. In this case, they only went to one page, as you saw on that last screen. We can see what computer browser they're using. We can set the time. And when we see white vertical lines here, it shows when they've actually moved their mouse up and down the pages. You can see exactly there. That's the user moving right now. And if there were vertical red lines, we'd know when they click. We can see we can see exactly what they're thinking, what they're browsing, what they're looking at. We can see when they right click and left click. It shows exactly what they're doing on your site so that you can tailor everything around real visitor interactions so you can actually increase your conversions. Now once you have this intel, you can practically guide every user to engage on your site the way that you want in order to complete a sign up, to take a specific action, or to generate a sale. Now I'm going to jump back here to the panel, and just you can see all of the kinds of data that we're gathering here in terms of path, which is very valuable. So we can see when they went to our checkout page, if that's the kind of retail site we have, or if they didn't. So we can better understand conversions and what paths they've taken to those conversions. We can look at our heat maps page to get a little bit better intel on every single page on the site. Where do they click on the site when they go to it? Where does their mouse go? Where do their eyes go? How far do they scroll down the page? In this example, let's just take a gander at the home page. For example, we'll look in the last week and we'll look at the number of clicks. And what we can see here is obviously they've clicked on the services button more often. The more concentrated the red, the more frequent the clicks. As we can see also, they're clicking on one of the members of the staff here, and also clicking on the asbestos mesothelioma areas here and on the search button. That's where they're clicking on the site in general. It's brand new data though. In weeks to come, this will be a lot more valuable, so we can see exactly where they're clicking and what they're doing, so we can better guide them. But jumping back, let's take a look at the same page, but let's look at eye tracking. Where did their mouse go? Where are their eyes going? What are they following? We're going to look in the last week again. We're going to generate the heat map. Now we get a real picture of where their mouse goes around the page. They kind of hovered over the logo a little bit, spending a lot of time in the upper left-hand area, and on occasion they're going down here to obviously the attorney staff and clicking on those, looking at the asbestos and mesothelioma. Their mouse is going to be going over that, and that's why that's a deeper, darker red. And it's by individual and by the number of users. So based upon the greater volume, the better picture we have of exactly where people are going on our page. Now let's look at one more interesting piece of data, and we can go page by page on this also. But the scroll, and let's just take the home page again. Rather than looking at all these other pages, again, we can see all of the pages and what's happened on them. And in this case, we'll use the home page. In the last week, where have people scrolled? And this is really important data, because if people aren't scrolling down the page, and that's where our calls to action are, where our order buttons are, where our forms are, where our buy buttons are, if they don't scroll that far down, then we're never going to have a chance to get them to take the action we want, obviously. In this case, 100% of the people saw above this line. Only 75% of the people saw below the line, 95% below this line. So half the people that are coming to this website are not seeing below this area here, which suggests that if there's more important data that you want, or information you want someone to see, whether it be a phone number, again, a form, a buy button, it needs to be in this area at the very top. So that's just one example. Again, over time, better data. But if you've got a nice a site with good volume, you're going to get some great data in a very short period of time. Going back, I'll share just one more quick piece of data here with you, the popular pages. We can see here where people are spending the most time on the website. 19 hours have been spent on this page, and 10 hours on this one, and 9 on this one. It helps you better understand where people are focused on your website. And if you're not getting the conversions, maybe that's where you need to focus making your changes and improvements first. That's it. Looking forward to see you on the inside.